Welcome to this module on the Materials Management Basic Procurement Cycle. This module is targeted towards the employees involved in purchasing, warehouse, and accounts payables processes. This module will help to gain a working knowledge and understanding of the key concepts in Materials are one of the most important set of resources in an enterprise and a key to the master data in SAP. Materials management helps you to ensure effective usage of the materials in your business. In the SAP system, the Materials Management or MM module is fully integrated with the other modules such as Sales and Distribution, Production Planning, Quality Management, and Finance and Controlling. Materials management enables you to handle several tasks such as managing master data, handling procurement, managing inventory, and completing invoice verification. Let us examine each of these tasks in detail. The materials management process involves 5 phases. They are: materials planning and control, which involves identifying the requirements for materials and planning the inventory. The materials management processes involve several different organizational elements that work together. These elements include the company code, planned storage location, purchasing organization, and purchasing group. The materials management involves several organizational levels. They are: client, company code, purchasing organization, planned storage location, and purchasing group. The client is an enterprise that consists of the storage location is a subdivision of a plant where materials are physically stored. It is an organizational unit that allows you to differentiate material stock within a plant. This unit is also responsible to negotiate conditions with vendors. A purchasing organization can be enterprise-wide, company-specific, or plant-specific. In an enterprise-wide purchasing organization, one purchasing organization procures materials for all plants within a client. For instance, a purchasing organization can procure materials for all the companies in a corporate group. In a company-specific purchasing organization, one purchasing organization procures materials for one company code. In a plant-specific purchasing organization, one purchasing organization procures materials for one plant. The purchasing group is a key. One of the important tasks in the materials management process is handling of master data. The material master is one of the key master data in the SAP system. The material master stores information on all the materials that a company procures, produces, stores, and sells. All the processes in the SAP logistics system access the materials master for information. In the materials master, the data required to manage materials is stored in data records. It provides specific views for each department within the organization. This enables easy and decentralized maintenance of the master data. The data is maintained at different organizational levels. Example: planned and storage location. The vendor master stores all the data required for PROCO terms and minimum order value. This data is valid for one purchasing organization. Accounting data includes financial details such as bank data, payment transactions, and account management. This data is valid either for the whole group or for one company code. Purchasing info records is the master data that holds vendor material-specific information within a plant. A material may be procured from more than one vendor, and each vendor may have different. The information in the purchase info records is used as default data for documents such as purchase orders. If you want to create a purchase info record for a material without material master data, you must create the purchase info record for a material group. You can also create more than one purchase. SAP supports 4 categories of info records. They are: Standard that is valid for standard POs with the item category blank. Consignment that is valid for a consignment scenario. Subcontracting that is for a subcontracting scenario. Pipeline that is valid for a pipeline. A source list identifies the suppliers for a specific find by a source list recs. Vendor A is the fixed source for one time period, and vendor B is the fixed source for another time period. A block source is a source of a material that is not a valid source. The procurement cycle for a service or material in material management consists of 8 processes. They are: determining the requirements, determining the source of supply, selecting the vendors, processing the purchase order, monitoring the purchase order. In third-party procurement type, you place a purchase order with the vendor to deliver goods or perform a service to a third party. In third-party procurement processing, you will pass on the order to an external vendor by creating a third-party item in the sales order, purchase requisition or purchase order. You will request the vendor to send the goods directly to the customer. The vendor will directly deliver the goods to the customer, and the invoice to you. Note that third-party processing is carried out in sales, distribution, and materials management. In pipeline material processing, a material enters the production process directly from a pipeline, pipe, or through cable like electricity for consumption. Note that the material type PIPE represents the pipeline materials. The following are the business characteristics withdrawn as in pipeline material create. A purchase requisition, PR, is a written request issued to the purchasing department. Invoice verification is the final task in the procurement. Posted, the data in the invoice is saved in the system, and an invoice document and accounting document are generated. The invoice verification transaction accesses data from purchasing, inventory management, material master, and vendor master files. When you post an invoice, purchasing and accounting data are updated. There are 2 types of invoice documents used during the invoice verification to post it. For instance, a less experienced employee may enter invoice data without checking properly. An expert can check the entered data, correct it, and post it later. You can use the whole document to save the invoice information you entered in its current state. When you use a whole document, the system performs minimal checks, such as the company step. In the invoice verification task, you need to post invoices based on the information in POs and goods receipts. In a consignment and pipeline settlement, you need to settle the withdrawals and send a statement of the settlement to the vendor. You have reached the end of the Materials Management Basic Procurement Cycle module. In this module, you learn to info records and handle the invoice verification process. Welcome to this module on sales and distribution, sales order processing. This module is targeted towards Emergys employees involved in the sales and distribution process. This module will enable you to explain the steps in the sales order process and handle the different tasks in sales and distribution. This module should take you about 1 hour to complete. At the end of this module, Sales and Distribution (SD) is an SAP module that handles all the activities in the order-to-cash business process, includes several tasks, such as customer inquiry, quotation, sales order, delivery, billing, and payment collection. SD module contains all the master data and the transactions materials management and logistics execution modules to provide the required functions. Let us examine the functions. SD includes several components that are required to complete the order-to-cash process: the sales, distribution, and marketing of products, and transportation that enables you. The SAP system enables you to define the business units and the functional structure of your organization. An organizational structure for sales order processing includes the client, company code, plant, and sales area. The sales organization that represents an organizational structure for distribution in SAR. Shipping point, an organizational unit such as the exact physical location where the loading of a delivery item takes. Master data refers to the collection of sales and distribution (SD) data on which transactions are executed. There are 5 types of master data. They are: customer master data. Each of these master data in detail. The customer master data is the first type of master data. The customer master data distribution channel, which is designed to look into the different types of sales in a sales organization, and the division, which is formed on the basis of products. The customer master data is divided into 3 areas: general data, company code data, and sales area data. General data contains data that is relevant to the entire organization, such as the client's name and address for communication. Company code data includes specific financial information regarding account management, payment, and bank details. Sales area data contains sales office details and shipping and billing agreements. Note that every customer. Now let's look at the second type of master data, the material master data. The material master data contains all the information about materials and products offered by the organization. In other words, it is the central repository of information on materials. The material master data is used by most components within the SAP system, which includes sales and distribution, materials management, production, plant maintenance, accounting or controlling, and quality management. The material master data is main and storage location, which contain. The material master data is stored in functional segments called views. These views the sales order process includes the following phases: pre-sales activities, sales order entry, check availability, shipping, pick, pack, and post-goods issue, billing, and payment. The first phase in the sales order process is pre-sales activities, and so on. And potential customers and create master records in the SAP system. The functions involved in this phase are creating and tracking customer contacts and communications, such as phone call records, on-site meetings, letters. Activities is to equip the sales station. General company info. Information is collected and tracked. You can contact the potential customers and There are 2 types of pre-sales document. The sales probability. An inquiry is a customer's request to a company for information regarding their products or services without X. You need to save and maintain the inquiry from the potential customer. A quotation specific products in a specified time frame. More about creating an inquiry and quotation, click the following links. As part of sales processing tasks, your manager has asked you to create an inquiry based on a customer's request. This is a demonstration of the steps you need to perform while creating an inquiry. In the SAP Easy Access window, in the command field text box, type VA11. Press the Enter key to display the Create Inquiry initial screen. In the Inquiry Type text box, type IN. In the Organizational Data section, in the Sales Organization text box, type 1000. In the Distribution Channel text box, type 10. In the Division text box, type 10. Press the Enter key. In the Create Inquiry Overview screen, in the Sold to Party text box, type 100. In the PO number